and Aaron Jones dropping the most catchable anybody listening. I mean, you could have caught that pass. Anybody.
Whoever you are.
A 5-year-old could have caught that pass. My grandma, who can't even get up, could have caught that pass.
And she did.
We could have wheeled her down the 30 yards up the seam, and she could have caught the damn thing.
Roosters in the head.
He's got him fresh.
Headless Chickens, episode number 159.
59. Holy smokes. They fly by.
They fly by like the passage of time. Pulled around to a rhyme.
That was your rhyme. Man, I've got to check back and see if you've been copying rhymes.
I think I have.
Yeah.
Especially like 3 and me. Done that a couple times,
yeah.
and 2 and you.
Yeah, there's a bunch of 2s you can do.
I know, that's the bad one.
Yeah.
And 7 is a really hard one because how have I not repeated heaven?
Yeah, no kidding.
But anyway, we're here, episode 159, being split into 2 different groups. We're actually going to do some YouTube stuff.
Yeah.
This time. Post them up on YouTube, so check out our Headless Chickens channel. It's called Headless Chickens Fantasy Football. It has this exact recording, but in video form, so you can look at us drinking Glenfarclas.
Yeah, you want to look at our ugly mugs? You can do it now.
Yeah.
You know, and we do some hand gestures. I mean, I know I do.
There's some really... To understand Kirk, you have to see the hand gestures. It doesn't translate.
My vocabulary and comprehension is not good, but you mix in the verbal or the physical movement, boom, baby, we got it. Yeah.
So we're gonna dive in. We're not really doing a lot of fantasy this time. It's just, I always say January is. We've been playing fantasy football for 20 years.
Oh yeah.
Take January off, folks. Enjoy the football.
Really?
That's the one silver bullet advice I can give about fantasy football.
Oh, yeah. When it comes to playoff times, you're done caring about stats, anything like that. It's just watch football be football.
Yeah.
And it kind of realigns you. You know what you're coming into next season.
Mm-hmm.
Just the defense is playing well. Our team's going to have to adapt to this. Somebody always follows what the Super Bowl winner does.
Yep.
They rebuild their program to look like this.
Yeah.
So just watch football to be football and understand through the offseason what people are looking at.
Yeah, and honestly, just enjoy a game without you having any personal stake in it.
Oh, yeah.
It was actually kind of stressful. The Seahawks have been so good for so long. It's like, I just want to watch some games.
It used to be so much easier. We just missed the playoffs every year, and we just, okay, let's watch the playoffs.
Yeah. I don't know if I've told you before, but in the 90s, I was really into football, just incredibly into the almanac, the stats.
Oh, yeah.
Don't know where that went. I was just so into it. And we went to Seahawks games. We traveled to Seahawks games and went to the Kingdome and watched. I did not connect the two. I didn't understand that the Seahawks could actually be one of the teams in the Super Bowl in the almanac stats.
Yeah, we're non-existent.
Not until the Holmgren years. I'm of course, as I'm getting older, moving into middle school, I figured it out. But I did not think that the Jerry Rice, Joe Montana, Emmitt Smith, Michael Irvin, Jim Kelly,
Brett Favre,
Thurman Thomas. I didn't think that had anything to do with what was happening at the Kingdome.
It didn't. It was like going to the XFL. It's like,
that's funny. So we're gonna let's take a look back a little bit at the AFC playoffs so far.
Yeah.
Which has been interesting. Obviously, the big story is the Titans, who we're gonna dive into a lot.
Oh yeah.
They defeated both the Patriots in New England, and Baltimore with the presumably the MVP Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. So are the Patriots done?
I kind of think it's a little bit of rebuild time. I wouldn't re-sign Brady, not after this year. He has got no zip on the passes. I mean, go back and watch some of those Super Bowls, like the Falcons or the Eagles. You can see he's got that zip on the pass. He doesn't have it anymore.
Yeah.
This whole season, it was just lobs and just non-catchable things and just making quick checkdowns. You got to get rid of him.
I tend to agree with your side. However, just to play some devil's avocado, he had no weapons either. Like, Peyton Manning threw 55 touchdowns. He didn't have any zip on the ball. Like Brady had nothing, and they tried. Man, they tried to get Antonio Brown in there.
Oh, yeah.
They tried to get Gronk back out of the retirement. They drafted N'Keal Harry, who was on IR, and then just an absolute bust.
Yeah, and they
Edelman was hurt.
Traded for Sanu,
And he Sanu'd all over the place.
Yeah.
They tried, and they had nothing, man. And Sony Michel, I don't know where Sony Michel has gone.
I don't know. If I'm Belichick, I'm like, okay, we got an awesome defense. This is kind of how Brady started his career. Just let's go get somebody new and have him play with this awesome defense, and then he'll learn, and then he can take over and start being the offensive mastermind. But it's time. He's 42. He'll turn 43 next season. Nobody makes it that long.
Yeah, nobody makes it as long as he has made it.
Oh, yeah. Well, maybe Vinny Testaverde.
Yeah. But did he make it? Or did he just kind of get pulled there?
He was just kind of filling off the spot.
It'll be interesting to see if the Patriots can pull the trigger on this. They've been the ones who, they get rid of their players early. They got rid of Mike Vrabel early.
Yeah.
Who's, by the way, the coach of the Titans right now. They got rid of him early.
So sweet that he beat the Patriots.
And then he comes back, coaches, and supposedly ends the dynasty. We'll see if they can actually pull the trigger on this. But the Patriots are not the best team that the Titans have knocked off on their way to this AFC Championship.
Oh, yeah.
The Ravens, man. Oh, man. As a Lamar Jackson fantasy owner, I had a little bit of stake. I wanted Lamar to do well. But this is the second straight playoff game in a row that Lamar Jackson has looked bad. Though this was a much better statistical performance.
Yeah, it's what everybody goes to when they talk about the statistics. But that first half, he was ugly. And in the third quarter, he really wasn't doing much. He had a few good scrambles, a few good passes to Marquise Brown, who just showed up. Marquise Brown.
Yeah, there was a good one to get him towards the sideline on the end of the second half.
Yeah.
First half.
Laid out and made that one-handed in traffic. That was beautiful.
Good throw, too.
But you know what? I kind of figured this happens all the time. The MVP doesn't win the Super Bowl.
Since Kurt Warner in 1999.
I wasn't putting my money on the Ravens winning the whole thing. I was just shocked at how badly they played on defense.
Yeah.
For a team, they're like, oh, they're just shutting down the run. Well, maybe they were just shutting down the run because they were winning by 28 points by halftime every single game, and they got exposed.
Yeah, we're going to really talk about this, but a key to that game is that the Titans went up 14-0.
Oh, yeah.
I think if the Ravens go up 14-0, then it's over.
Yeah.
And the way they got up 14-0 is not Derrick Henry. It is Ryan Tannehill.
Yeah.
That third and goal. And Jonnu Smith with the crazy catch.
What a catch, man.
And then
got the left cheek in.
I can't he gets the left cheek. Can you split the cheeks?
Yep. That cheek hit before this cheek.
Dan Fouts with the call of the millennium.
I mean, they are split. There's
and then I can't even remember that Sharif Raymond or Khalif Raymond. I can't even remember the guy's name, but the bomb down
Mr. Nobody wide open.
Yeah. I have never heard of that player.
Me neither. He just came in off the practice
Neither
squad.
had the Chiefs.
Yeah, Adam Humphries is hurt, and they're just like, well, you run the route this time.
So, is Lamar Jackson going to be back, or was this it?
Lamar Jackson is going to be an awesome fantasy player. I think statistically he's going to be doing great for years, but when I think it comes to playoff time, and it's a different league at that point.
Yeah.
And I think what he doesn't really work to win championships.
Yeah.
But you'll consistently see him in the playoffs, but it's going to take a while for him to get over the hump and realize he needs to do less and just be more accurate, get into third and shorts.
Yeah. I have hope for Lamar as a good quarterback going forward, very similar to you, just exactly what you said, but this was their chance. It's so heartbreaking, but they're never going to have this many pieces.
I know.
They're never going to have Earl Thomas, Marcus Peters.
Yep.
And Jimmy Smith.
The timeline dwindles because eventually you'll have to pay Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
So
this is the time.
When that extension comes, the rest of the pieces become a little worse, and you're banking on youth more than you are anything else. So, you know,
I guess a star could come out of the defense or something. John Harbaugh's done it before, so we'll see. There's always coaching. Kansas City side, they came back from 24-0 against Houston, which I forget. I think it was either PFF or somebody was saying in Bill O'Brien's exit interviews, like, yes, but we were ahead.
We were ahead at one point. Yes, we were doing great.
Have to have a 24-point lead to give up a 24-point lead.
Oh, it was so bad. I felt so bad for him. You know,
for the Texans.
Oh yeah, I was like, okay, I'm looking at the 24-0 lead. I'm like, what is going on? Of course the Chiefs are going to come back in this game. I didn't expect that quickly. And
Before the half.
to be a 20-point blowout by the end. At the end of the game, I was like, come on, Texans, make this a classic. You know,
Yeah.
I was mad at them for not scoring enough.
We were texting during it, and I wrote to you, I cannot believe that Deshaun Jackson is in garbage time at the beginning of the fourth quarter after the way this game started.
You know, just the Texans defense sucks, and I'm glad they
do.
got exposed like that.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously Kansas City's got one of the best offenses in the whole league.
Yeah.
It's just it was nice to see the Texans flaw show. And they don't have picks, so they're going to be they're going to have some problems rebuilding this defense unless they do it through free agency, which I don't think they have that much cap room because they got Watson and Hopkins they got to pay.
They sold out for this year, right?
Yeah.
They traded 2 first-round picks for Tunsil,
And Stills.
and they gave up a third-round pick for Carlos Hyde.
Yep.
So, I mean, they sold out to get a 24-point lead against the Chiefs and blow it with a 41 unanswered.
Yeah.
This is what they sold out to do.
Yeah. And it's gonna be a mess. I think the Titans take over the AFC South. The Colts aren't too far behind, and if the Jaguars can find some consistent quarterback play, they're right back in it too. So the Texans got to worry about sinking to the bottom here soon.
Yeah, and it's you say it all the time. Every year is year to year. We're gonna get to this summer. We're gonna be predicting the same playoff teams, but it is not. That is not reality.
Yeah.
So AFC. Let's go to the AFC Championship.
Yeah, the game everybody wants to hear about.
Yeah.
You know,
let's look forward.
Did you really think the Titans were going to make it here? No, I didn't think they'd make the playoffs, but here they are in the AFC Championship game.
You in one of our things, you take a team out.
Oh, yeah.
You did take the Titans out.
I'm sick of watching them. But you know what?
Tannehill provided them some juice, though. There's a definite delineation point.
I've been watching, probably once like week 12 rolled around. I was like, I got to keep an eye on the Titans. I got to quit writing them off. They're not the Dolphins or the Redskins.
Yeah.
But, Tannehill has brought some life in. Derrick Henry is a beast. I mean, he's an absolute tank.
Yeah. So we'll just kind of go through the most important players of the game. We each wrote down 3 most important players playing in this game. Then we'll kind of break down when Tennessee has the ball, break down when Kansas City has the ball, talk about the scenarios of how each team wins this game, and then we'll make our picks. And we do have Anthony's pick as well, our other co-host, who's in Port Townsend.
Yeah, not here, but he still has a pick.
Still has a pick.
Yeah.
So who do you have down as the important player of this game?
My number one important player of this game is Ryan Tannehill.
Okay.
Ryan Tannehill has 160 yards in 2 playoff games right now. He's not throwing the ball. I don't think he can last and do that like they have been.
Yeah, under 100 yards.
Kansas City is going to put up more than 12 points like Baltimore did or 13 like the New England did. Mm-hmm. They're going to be in the 20s, maybe the 30s. Tannehill's going to have to throw the ball more often. And I mean, I know they want to have a time of possession, but I'm just waiting to see if Tannehill's going to choke, if he's the darling that everybody thinks he is. How does he actually perform in Foxborough with the Super Bowl on the line? They can't just hand the ball off to Derrick Henry 30 times. I mean, if I'm Andy Reid, I'm putting 9 in the box. I'm saying take the guy out.
Yeah, they can't. I mean, I don't even care how many they put in the box. Put 11 in the box. Put 7 in the box. Who cares? Derrick Henry runs for 300 yards, 100 yards. It has no effect on the game if Tannehill doesn't play good.
Tannehill's got to keep, and he's made some clutch passes.
He has.
He really has.
When he's been asked to, he has done really well.
Yeah, and he's scrambled all right. So I think
that's true.
he's good in that sense, but I'm telling you, the game rides on Tannehill. He is the complete X factor. He's the unknown of this game. You're not sure which kind of guy you're going to get. And if he comes out slinging, man, this could be a ball game.
Yeah, so I'm just going to get it out of the way. Boring that we're sticking with the quarterbacks here because they are the actual most important players in the game. But I'm going to say Pat Mahomes. There was one person who can slaughter Derrick Henry tomorrow. And it is Pat Mahomes.
Yeah.
I mean, let's face it. Derrick Henry, 182 yards in the wild card round, 195 yards in the divisional round, the greatest, back-to-back rushing performances in NFL playoff history. But you better hope your defense holds them below 15. Because they wouldn't have won if the defense didn't.
Yeah.
So, by that I say, all Pat Mahomes needs to do is go out there and drop 30 points, and it doesn't matter what Derrick Henry does. And if it doesn't matter what Derrick Henry does, then the Titans aren't going to the Super Bowl. So I say this game is on Mahomes. And Can I go into my second most important player?
Yeah,
Because it's tied together.
Transitions.
Yeah, it's Travis Kelce, who's got that knee. He's got a IT bond tightness. I don't even know. IT band tightness. I don't know what that is.
I don't either.
They said it was a hamstring on the broadcast, but he has got to be
I don't know. Yeah, I'm not a doctor.
he has got to be real Kelce, because that's how the Chiefs produce. You know, if you have Kelce and Hill, then that's 4 defenders that you have to devote to that.
Yeah.
But if Kelce can be covered one-on-one, then you can comfortably bracket Hill. You know, people are saying, "Oh, just follow the Patriots blueprint last AFC Championship game." Need I remind you?
They gave up 28 points.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Need I remind you that if D Ford is on side, then the Patriots actually lost that game.
Yeah. Mine's Tyreek Hill.
Okay, so we're sticking with the Chiefs passing game.
I'm Tyreek Hill. If he gets anything deep, I mean, you have to have 2 guys back there. You have to shade a safety to his side. You have to do it. It's mandatory. If you don't do it, Mahomes will find Hill deep. Yeah. This guy is explosive. He didn't even do that well in this season, I don't think. Mm-hmm. He's made a few big plays, but I tell you, if this guy starts and gets going, gets a little space, if they're too worried about Travis Kelce, Tyreek Hill is going to have a hell of a game.
Yeah, and the Titans and Chiefs have played this year, and they were backing off Tyreek Hill like 8 yards off of him, and they just threw it quickly to Hill, who then juked the guy who was off of him.
Oh, yeah.
And then ran for 13 yards.
He's got space. That's all he needs.
God, he is so electric.
With Kelce doing better, and they're just having to devote more attention to the middle of the field, it's helping Mahomes run to the outside, and it's helping Tyreek Hill eventually. I think we haven't really seen it, but I'm telling you, there's going to be one of those scramble plays, and it's going to be a highlight for a long time.
Yeah, I would love to. I mean, I'm rooting for the Chiefs here, unabashedly, because I just want them in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
You know, it's exciting what the Titans are doing, yada, yada, yada. I'm always against the run game, as you know.
Oh, yeah. I think you've said it enough. Yeah.
So let me go to my next one, which is also a slap in the face, which is A.J. Brown. Tennessee Titans wide receiver who's got approximately 30 yards in 2 games. They haven't been throwing, but you can't score 15 or 14 points on offense and win this game against the Chiefs. You just can't. So we need to see A.J. Brown be a star. We need to see him come in and do what he was doing late December, which was honestly taking over games.
Oh, yeah.
He won the game, and then Derrick Henry got a bunch of stats. I cannot say it enough. It's like in a baseball game, if Edgar Martinez comes in, hits a home run in the first inning, a home run in the third inning, and the headline reads "Bullpen saves the day."
Yeah,
you know, it's like give a credit to the guy who got you the points in the first place,
gave you that lead, so you can run the ball,
which is Tannehill, and I think A.J. Brown.
Yeah,
I'm excited to see something out of A.J. Brown. I almost forgot he was in the playoffs.
Well, he's only got 30 yards, so yeah, pretty much isn't.
Yeah. Who's your third important player?
My third important player, and this is defense. Okay, I couldn't really decide.
Okay, I got a defensive one for the last one too.
I got Kevin Byard.
Okay, yeah. Okay. Safety for the Titans.
Strong safety for the Titans. He's got to cover the middle field. I think he'll be on Kelce a lot.
Yeah.
But he also has to contain the run a little bit. I think he'll be kind of switching off on like a spy on Mahomes and between getting Kelce. And I think he'll have to cover deep against Tyreek Hill. I think he's kind of the X factor in the secondary. So whatever he does in this game, he needs to be the Ed Reed.
Yeah.
You know, think he needs to
Tall
be
task.
He needs to be the Cam Chancellor, you know, way back Steve Atwater of the Broncos. I mean, he needs to be that guy. He needs to show up, because if he doesn't, this game's done. It's over. If they can't contain Mahomes for even a little bit without like getting lucky and them dropping some passes or something, he needs to be electrifying this game. He needs to make a name for himself, and we say, hey, Kevin Byard's one of the best safeties in the league.
Yeah, he is a highly graded safety on PFF,
and it's time to become a household name. If he can't,
that's where it happens.
If he can't do it in this game, the Titans will lose, and it doesn't matter what Tannehill or Henry do.
Yeah.
If they give up 35 points, the game's over.
Yeah.
And I think that's largely in part of him. I think he's the leader of that defense.
I think we aren't giving enough talk to the Titans defense. They really have look good, and they actually have won these games.
Oh yeah.
They are the ones who have been winning the games for the Titans. Not just Byard, but Jarrell Casey.
Yep. Their defensive line's been pretty good.
Yeah.
You know.
Harold Landry as the end.
Yep.
Because they got Woodyard and Evans kind of upping their game at the linebacker position. Also, Adoree Jackson is their corner. He's been solid.
He's quick enough to keep up with Hill.
Yeah.
But we'll see if he gets juked.
And, well, don't have one-on-one coverage. But then again, supposedly man coverage is the way to beat the Chiefs. That's what they say. I don't think that's true necessarily. I think the Patriots stopped them with man coverage, but if Mahomes can scramble, if you start turning your back on Mahomes, he's going to take those 13-yard runs on first down, and he did that against the Texans while they were putting up 41 unanswered.
Yeah.
He had a couple 11-yard runs. He had 50, 60 yards in that game.
Yeah, but if you got a good defensive line, that's essentially what they're saying man coverage is like if I got 4 guys and I can bring one extra and make Mahomes get the ball out of his hands a hell of a lot quicker than he's supposed to, that's kind of the goal, and that is the way you beat him. If you go into zone, you're just screwed. You're just handing them 30 points. They're going to figure it out. They're going to find gaps. Kelsey's too good. Hill's going to be running around. You got to keep an eye on him.
Yeah.
You have to go man, and you have to risk it.
And you have to switch it up. I'm Bill O'Brien, Houston Texans coach. He just stuck with it.
Oh yeah.
And even Bill Belichick, once Andy Reid figures out, Tony Romo called this on the broadcast. He said, once Andy Reid knows what you're doing, you are dead.
Yep.
Paraphrasing. But my other important of the game is Chris Jones, defensive tackle for Kansas City. Did not play against the Texans. He is their best interior or just kind of best lineman overall. They need him.
Yeah.
Because while I, talk a lot about Henry and I don't really care, he's not. You're done, right? So we didn't even put Henry as one of our most important players of the game.
No, I think he goes without saying.
I just don't think that he's the most important player in the game. I genuinely don't.
I'm with you. If he gets 100 or 200, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, but if he gets 300, that's a big deal. So they need Chris Jones.
So Chris Jones is going to take off 100 yards.
Yeah, it takes up 100 yards. Just makes it not an absolute disaster. They can't have 80-yard runs. Average 8 yards a carry. Who cares?
Yeah.
You averaged 8 yards a carry and you scored 14 points in supposedly the best game of all time. You scored 14 points. I don't get it. I don't see it.
Yeah.
Old school football. I don't agree.
It works if their defense works. It's just a terrible matchup.
That's a huge if. That's a massive if. It works if the whole other side of the ball works. Jesus. I mean, come on. It works if the other 50% of our team works.
That's the odds I like.
Okay.
Just give me that coin flip, baby.
All right.
I'd be a great head coach. I'd be 8-8 every year.
8-8 every year.
I'd be Jason Garrett.
Yeah, be Jason Garrett. So when Tennessee has the ball, obviously the focus is Derrick Henry in reality, and that offensive line, Taylor Lewan, Jack Conklin, this offensive line that I was really hyped about in 2016.
Yeah. Finally molded.
Same players, some of the same players. They've got a good group. I know PFF grades aren't everything. I've brought them up a couple times here, but they have 4 linemen graded between 73 and 80.
Yeah.
And that's really solid. That's really good stuff. But Henry, what do you think Henry gets in this game? Like what kind of stat line do you think he's going to have?
I can see him somewhere around 100 yards. Not like 150. I'm talking like 105, or he gets like 92. I think they're going to give him the ball a lot. I think their zone running scheme, doing those stretch plays, that's going to work for a while. The real key is, can they keep getting third and shorts? Can they make the pressure not be so much on Tannehill? Can they mix in runs and passes on 3rd and 2s or 3rd and 3s? That's what they need to keep doing. That's the reason the running game works. But it tell you, if they shut down a run and there's a false start here and all of a sudden it's 3rd and 12, Tannehill's got to make more plays that aren't like red zone opportunities. They're just like, I need to get a first down and get to midfield opportunities.
Yep.
That's the problem with the run game. If it doesn't work and you have a couple holding penalties, then you get in these 3rd and longs, and I don't trust Tannehill in those situations.
Yeah. But he has been doing it.
He has, but I think he's been doing it with an opportunity to score. They're always about midfield or closer.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, field position's huge. And if he's way back there at the 20 or even farther back and they get some 3rd and longs, I mean, there could be a big pick 6 or a fumble thing. I mean, I don't trust Tannehill without good field position.
It will be tough. And Derrick Henry is the guy who's going to take that off of him.
Hopefully.
But
hopefully.
At the same time, Derrick Henry, DeMarco Murray, they've had a good run game for like 5 years. And only one thing has changed and made them good, and that is having a good quarterback. Tannehill has played as a good quarterback. He's the number 4 fantasy quarterback, just volume stats, since he came in. So week 6 to week 17, he was number 4.
Yeah.
This guy is doing it. That is the difference. The success pivoted on him. So I do think that there's a little bit of hope. And boy, what could you imagine Ryan Tannehill in the Super Bowl?
I don't want to. I don't want to.
Unbelievable. Between Tannehill and Devontae Parker this year,
Oh, yeah.
it's just these guys who we gave so many chances. I mean, it legitimately felt like Tannehill's breakout year was about to come for like 5 straight off seasons, if not more.
Yeah.
If not more. It was a joke.
It really was.
And now here he is on Tennessee.
And it's working.
The AFC Championship.
I don't get it.
Yeah. What about when Kansas City has the ball? We talked a lot about the coverages. I wrote a lot of notes about that, but we already covered it. We talked a lot about Hill. We talked a lot about Kelsey. Demarcus Robinson should catch the football. I think that's what he should do.
It might help.
He had 3 massive drops.
They're just stupid. Just like one of them was trying to make a one-handed catch. It's like, you're DeMarcus Robinson. Just catch the ball, dude.
Remember who you are.
But, my key to Kansas City when they have the ball is, who cares about the running game? Just have the ball in Mahomes' hands the entire game.
Yeah.
I don't care about Damian Williams getting anybody else involved in the rushing attack.
Yep.
Just drop back. If you want rushing yards, let Mahomes do it.
Yeah. Or just get rushing yards, as in short passes to Damian Williams.
Yeah. That works. But just Mahomes should always be making the decision.
Yes.
Should always be in his hands.
Absolutely agree. 41 unanswered points with 2 rushing yards.
Yes. That's the key. That's what you should do all the time, Andy Reid.
And if there is one thing we have seen with Andy Reid, this is his 6th championship game. He's won one of them. If there's one thing we've seen, it's that Andy Reid gets you the championship game, gets you ahead in that game, and then tries to run the ball.
Yep.
And something that his offense just can't do. Don't do it.
Yeah, let's run out the clock.
Yeah.
And then watch my defense blow it.
You know how we said like it was good for the Titans to get ahead of the Ravens last week?
Yeah.
It'll be bad if the Titans get ahead of the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Because that takes the run the ball panic out of Andy Reid's hands.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
That was the mistake the Texans made. Don't get ahead.
Don't get ahead, and then don't let them start slinging it.
Yeah. We barely mentioned Damian Williams' name, even though he had 3 touchdowns.
I know, but it wasn't him.
Yeah. Tennessee defense just deserves some credit here. This would be, if they are able to win this game, it would be one of the most impressive things that a defense has done. It would be shades of 06 Colts.
Yeah.
Like a decent defense, but just steps up in the playoffs just massively.
Yeah, I think of the 07 Giants.
Yeah, the 07 just, and they would be bumping off back-to-back MVPs, Jackson and Mahomes. I don't think they do it though. I mean, I just don't think so.
Yeah, I can see a world. I can see the world where it happens. Maybe it's just a cold, awful day. Like, receivers are dropping the ball for Kansas City. Andy Reid does something stupid because it is a championship game, and Andy Reid always does something stupid.
Yeah, and maybe Mike Vrabel's the next great. I mean, he's the next great coach.
He could be.
He's been pretty impressive so far.
But I still see Kansas City pulling this one off. I don't care about time of possession. I don't care about any of that. I just trust Mahomes to be able to score enough points that Tennessee can't get.
Yeah.
And I know everybody's going to talk about, they've already been talking about the game they played already.
Yeah.
When Mahomes came off injury and the Titans won at the last second.
Yeah. That was his first game back after the kneecap.
Yeah. And they won because they shanked a field goal and then they had a bad snap and it got blocked on the last one. That Kansas City should have won that game.
Yeah.
It's a totally different thing this time around. And I think that the fact that Kansas City has footage of what they do is going to hurt Tennessee.
Yeah. And the Chiefs defense has also improved in this time.
Oh, yeah.
So Tennessee, they win by passing the ball.
Yes.
At least getting some big plays so that they can then have Henry work.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'd love to see some Henry screens or some Henry passing game work. Did you see?
You want more jump passes?
More jump passes. There was a wide open Marcus Mariota, by the way.
Yeah.
Did you see what Frank Clark said?
No.
Frank Clark comes out with a quote, a defensive end now for the Chiefs, comes out with a quote that says, Henry doesn't run hard enough. Doesn't look like he's that hard to tackle.
What's he been watching?
Frank Clark.
Don't give him motivation.
Why do people... Earl Thomas said this too. They're just not trying out there. That's what he said about the Patriots. Well,
Earl Thomas
were
got
you
chucked.
trying?
If Earl Thomas gets chucked by a running back, just wham, throws him off. I mean, dude, that was a big stiff arm, and you don't make Earl Thomas look like a fool every day.
And he did. As a Seahawks fan, watching Earl Thomas, I never once saw Earl Thomas have anything like that happen to him, ever.
I know. I hadn't either.
That
I was shocked when that happened. I was
too.
like, Tennessee's got this game.
I actually assumed it wasn't Earl Thomas.
Yeah.
Before the replay. Well, Kansas City wins just by keep rolling. Just Derrick Henry gets 150 yards. LOL. I don't care.
Yeah. I'll be honest. I think this will be a closer game than people imagine.
Yeah.
I think Tennessee can put up 24 points or so, and Kansas City will take it at the end. But I think they can stick around. It'll be close, through the first half and the third quarter, and then a decision will be made. And I think it's Kansas City, hands down.
Hands down. And what do you have a score prediction?
I'm gonna say 31 to 27.
Wow. Nice.
Yeah.
I am going to say Kansas City as well. I am going to say 31-21.
Okay.
I don't think they get those 2 field goals.
I think they can do it.
Or the field goal.
Yeah.
And Anthony's pick was also Kansas City, and his add-on was that Derrick Henry barely gets 100 yards. Actually very similar to what you said.
Yeah.
That you thought he was hovering around in the 90s there.
Yeah, we're all going Kansas City. If Tennessee wins, then chaos has reigned supreme. The best fact of the night is not since 2002 have we had an AFC Championship game without Brady, Manning, or Roethlisberger.
Wow.
So it's been that long since we've had an AFC Championship game without those quarterbacks. Wow, it's baffling.
That is crazy.
2002.
I was a junior in high school.
The Browns made the playoffs.
Good God.
What a long...
Oh.
You sure that time doesn't even exist anymore? They just took it out of the record books. But yeah,
that's crazy.
It's nice to see some new people.
It is.
No Patriots.
That's why it's felt so weird.
Yeah.
It really has felt weird, this playoff round. All right, well, we are done previewing and reviewing the AFC, and we'll be back to get the NFC going. We are the Headless Chickens! Look at that.
We out.
Headless Chickens Podcast. The Headless Chickens Podcast.